see you. Hello, everybody. My name is Mika. Say, what about you guys? I would like to know your names, but yeah, just let's go around and introduce each other, right? I would love to know your names. Do you want to start?
My name is Kasai Kidam.
Oh,
Kasai.
Kasai.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I'm from Thailand.
From Thailand. Oh, nice to meet you, brother.
My name is Andwala Kasai.
Oh, I love you, man.
My name is Aida.
Oh my goodness! Wow, appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
My name is Abil.
Huh?
Abil.
Abil.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
First, thank you because you are providing such a wonderful chance to come talk myself. My name is Baraka.
Oh, nice to meet you, brother. We took picture outside, right?
Yeah.
Man.
My name is Gita Samola.
All right.
Hello, my name is Lydia.
Lydia. Oh, that's easy.
Mahadir.
Eh?
Mahadir.
Mahadesh. All right.
Sunlight.
Eh?
Sunlight.
Oh, God.
Salamat.
Sa?
Salamat.
Salah. All right.
My name is Albert.
All right. Thank you. Eh? Belletta. Okay. Eh? Masai. Oh, Masai. We have Masai tribe in Tanzania.
My name is Haimanut.
Haimanot. Oh, Haimanot is easy. I know Haimanot. Eh? Eh? Hanam. Hanam, nice to meet you.
My name is
Eh?
Sister.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Yapsatan.
Eh?
Yapsatan.
Abslatan. That sounds like a movie name. What about it?
Rihanna.
Eh?
Rihanna.
Rihanna. Oh, that's easy. I know Rihanna. My brother back there?
My name is Hussein.
Eh?
Hussein.
Hussein. Nice to meet you, brother.
My name is Idris.
Idris.
Kadus.
Kadis. Nice to meet you, brother. Sorry.
My name is Minasa.
Eh?
Minasa.
Minasa.
Yeah.
Alright. Solomon. That's easy.
Baraka.
Baraka. Yeah, we met outside, right? Appreciate it, man. Eh? Jonathan. Oh, that's easy. Guys, I am grateful to know you, even though I might not remember all of your names, but at least we got a time to know each other. You know, the system of this world, it has been created to exploit, to disvalue, to undermine Africa. That's how the system has been created in this world. That's why today, you're African. If you go outside of Africa, you'll experience racism. People that look down on you just because you're African, because that's how the system has been established, right? During colonialism, even for those countries that have been colonized, that's how the system was created. Like, if I look at you, you're African, it doesn't matter whether you're light skinned or you're dark skinned, it doesn't matter. You're an African, then the first thought that comes to my mind is that you were a slave. That's why back in the days, our ancestors, they were taken away. They went to the US, they went to all these different parts of, America and Europe to work for them, because that's how they saw them, because that's how the system of this world is. It's not fair, but that's how they see you. That's how they see me. I lived in Korea for 9 years. I've experienced that. I visited Japan. I went to Germany. I went to Romania. I've seen that, right? That's how the system of this world is. And sadly, it's not just outside of Africa. Even when you come inside Africa, that system of the world is changing us, is transforming us. For those countries that have been colonized, there's a way that we look to the white man, and there's a way that we look to the black man. For your country, because it's never been colonized, there's a way that you look at light skin and dark skin. There's a way that you look at that tribe and that tribe. Because the system of this world, the way that it's designed is to divide and rule, because we all know that the best thing to colonize someone, you have to weakening them. And how can you weaken the society that is together, that has powerful, that has knowledge? The only thing you have to do is to divide them, right? So that system is not just working outside, but even in the inside. Why I'm saying this? Because this is the image of Africans. This is the image of Africa that is outside. A couple months ago, Ethiopians and a lot of other people around Africa, they were standing together to say no more because of the Western media and all the stuff. You guys, you know, right? Why we were doing that? Why we're hashtagging no more? Why? Yes.
Because of the love of country.
Because of the love of the country. I love that.
Because we need the sanction of other country will stop, and the intervention of other country with our country stop that.
Exactly. So we're doing, yes?
There were a proxy war against Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So we never colonized it again. So our aim is we never colonize it again for European and Americans.
So you want to protect that?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Because they wanted to colonize again in different perspective, maybe in war. They wanted to intervene.
Yeah.
And their medias are violent.
Yes.
Africans especially. So we stand no more.
Yeah.
And I am a person to hope unify Africa. As your dream.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. All right. So basically, all the answers are right. It's true. And one of the things that I've seen, because even me myself, I joined as well. I was saying no more, but you know, for the entire continent, because you know, when Ethiopia is in trouble, all Africans have to become Ethiopians. You understand what I'm saying? Like when Ethiopia is in trouble, all Africans have to become Ethiopians. When Tanzania, my country, is in trouble, all of you guys have to be Tanzanians and to defend Tanzania. Because Tanzania is Africa. Ethiopia is Africa. We're basically one. Like we have nothing in common. We have a lot in common. Maybe we don't speak the same language. Maybe we don't look the same. We don't wear the same. We don't smell the same. We don't eat the same food. You guys eat injera. I eat ugali. But the fact that we are Africans, we are one. So that's why I'm here. And that's why I have been also supporting Ethiopia for the past 2 years, because Ethiopia is Africa. Ethiopia is my country. Like you guys might look at me like this guy, he's Tanzania, but I really feel like I'm Ethiopia. I feel like I'm Ghanaian, I'm Nigerian, I'm South African, because I'm African. That's my identity. Those borders of Africa, they were not created by our people. They were created by colonizers. Why? Because they have one rule of divide and rule. Like if I want to rule you, I just need to divide you. Or I just need to turn you against each other. You're fighting with one another and then I rule. I take advantage of everything you have. That's what I want to do. That's why you guys came together as all Ethiopians and other Africans that joined you guys to stand against the Western media, because the Western media has been changing the narratives. Western media, they have their own agenda. It's like, it makes sense, guys. We might be blaming Western medias, but honestly, I'm saying that we should not blame Western media. Because this is the reason, because Western media is owned by Westerners. If it's owned, if like we can see CNN, BBC or Al Jazeera, they're owned by their own people, right? Those people, they have their own agendas. So, do you want the American media to talk positive about Africa? No. They'll never talk positive about Africa because they have their own agenda. So what do? Okay, maybe we don't have strong African media yet, but what do we do as a journalist? Because we have an opportunity to show our narratives. Anybody has been outside of Africa here? Anyone has traveled like abroad or being abroad? No. So if you go outside of Africa, one day you might go there, but if you go there, you will see the image of Africa outside there. And honestly, the world is not fair. For me, I can't even blame them because they have their own agenda. But us as Africans, what should we do? Are we going to sit down and just hold our banners that no more without doing anything? Are we going to be whining and complaining that, this Western media, I hate Western media. They're talking about negativity about my country. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. They don't even listen to you. They don't even hear you. What are we doing? We're taking initiative. We're starting something. You as a journalist, maybe you're born here in Gondar. You understand Gondar, like, people here living in Ethiopia. You understand the culture. You understand the narrative. You see the news about Africa that is not true. What do you do about it? So, one thing that you can forget everything I talk about today, but I want you to remember this one day, that work without passion is wasting your time. If today you work, you're a journalist today, but you don't have passion for that, it's wasted your time. Because we see a lot of journalists have been used by the medias to say things that they're not even agreeing with, but because they're receiving paycheck at the end of the day, they do it. Passion, passion is what makes someone to give everything he got, to work for something, for a greater good, for a greater cause. Like we have all these narratives of Africa, we have these old narratives of Ethiopia that people are putting outside like there. If you go outside, you see how people think about that. You can look at the NGOs. Yesterday I was talking with some young people. You can look at the NGOs, how they portray about Africa. It's just negative. When I was in that country, one of my friends, she literally asked me that, do you guys have rice in Tanzania? Someone asked me if I have rice in Tanzania. And I met these little kids, they asked me, do you guys have toilets in Tanzania, in Africa? Because they think Africa, they don't have toilets. They just go on the jungle and then they do something on the jungle. But when you come to Tanzania, the first rule is before you build a house, you have to build a toilet. You cannot build a house without a toilet. That's like it's a rule. But that is the image, that is the perspective of other people. And we cannot blame them because they're not Africans. They don't know Africa like I do because I am an African. So for me, I'm not a journalist, but I'm passionate about Africa. I love Africa. I love Africa with everything I got. I want Africa to have peace. I want Africa to have love. I want Africa to have unity. I want you guys today, if you go to Tanzania, to be treated just like Tanzanian. I want me, if I come to Ethiopia, to be treated just like Ethiopian because we are African. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. And how do I do that? I have a media, right? That I share my stories. I share different people's stories. Right now I'm here in Ethiopia. I've been here for like a month and so. A month like in 2 weeks. And for a month and 2 weeks, you know what I've been doing? For a month and 2 weeks, I've been only talking about Ethiopia and Ethiopia and Ethiopia. I went to Hawassa, I went to Abamich, I went to Zwai, I went to Bale. Now I'm here at Gondar. I went to Addis Ababa, and soon I'll go back home. But all these places, why I went there? Because I went to the Doze village. That was amazing. You guys have to watch those videos. I went there, but why? Because I wanted to put this story about Ethiopia out there to show how Ethiopian people are. To show how African my brothers and sisters are living. Even here today, I'm here talking to you guys because I'm here to share with you guys my experience. So, before you do anything, you have to know like why you're doing what you're doing. Like if you're studying journalism, why are you studying journalism? If I can ask somebody here, why journalism? I know you want to talk, but I want to ask her. Her right there. Why are you studying journalism? If you look down, I'll point at you. Just a simple answer. Why are you studying journalism? It's okay, keep speaking, I'm hurried to. Somebody can translate to me. Just be comfortable.
She wants to study journalism for the sake of investigating hidden facts.
That's beautiful. See? That's beautiful right there. She knows why she's studying journalism. Because if I don't know why I'm studying what I'm doing, then I don't know what to do. Why? Because she wants to find all these hidden facts, hidden stories, all this stuff. And I can tell just from the answer that now she's passionate about it. That's why she knows what she's doing. So one thing that I will tell everybody, if I meet all journalists of Africa, this is what I will tell them, that Africa, if you go on Google and you write Africa, you'll see what comes. If you write on Google, write Ethiopia, you'll see what comes. If I go on Google, write Tanzania, I'll see what comes. Everything about Africa is negative. So it's not a time for us to share negative stories about Africa because that's the only thing that is on the internet. It's our time to share the positive story about Africa. Positive stories. I really don't know how you can do it, but for me, I just know that when you see Swahili nation, a lot of people, they think, Swahili is the language Swahili, right? It's the African language. And why, you know why I'm using Swahili there? Because in Tanzania we have 121 different tribes. It's more than in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is 86. In Tanzania, 121 different tribes. And all these 121 different tribes, they speak different languages. So we have 121 different languages. But we are all united, we are all one because of this one language called Swahili. And Swahili is not belonging to any tribe or any ethnic group. It's just a language that is the compilation of all different languages. Or Bantu languages, of English, of Arabic, of French. Like it's the combination of all these different languages that it was formed in the coastal region of Tanzania, Kilwa, Zanzibar, and then it spread out all over Africa. So right now you see Tanzania, you see Kenya, you see Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Zambia, Malawi, and South Africa, they're learning Swahili. And Congo, they're speaking Swahili. Some part of Somalia, they're speaking Swahili. But why? So why I'm using this Swahili? Because Swahili is the language that it unites different people from different backgrounds. And all these different Africans, they become one and they live in harmony and peace. That's why it's Swahili. And nation is like a country. Nation is country, means country. So I have this one Swahili, which pretty much resembles unified nation. Unified nation. That's why I'm using that Swahili. But the goal of Swahili nation is one Africa. And that's the mission that we pursue, one Africa. Because I told you guys about divide and rule, that if I want to rule you, I just have to divide you. I just have to turn you against each other. That's how most of African countries were colonized. Because we are turned against each other. And so when white men came to Africa, they made friends in Africa. And those friends, they betrayed us. They sold our leaders to them, and then they control us, they rule us. But that's not what happened in Ethiopia. Because they came here, and you guys, you were brave enough. You fight in the Battle of Adwa against Italians twice, and you won. You kicked them out. You beat their asses off, and they had to run away. So you guys, you are smart enough to fight, to come together as one people, fight against all these colonizers, to protect, to defend the country and the heritage of Ethiopia. And you did that, you won. But most of African countries, they couldn't. So if it happened back in the days, in 121 years ago, that means it can happen today as well. Because we just need to look at where we're coming from, and also to look at where we are, and look at where we are going. So where we're coming from is when we won and we have a victory. We remember on the March 2nd, right? Where we are right now, it's not looking pretty good. We gotta be honest with one another. Where we are right now as Ethiopians, we are in trouble. To be honest, we're in trouble. But where do we want to go? Because I'll tell you the truth, that the leaders you see today, they're leading Ethiopia or Africa, they're not gonna be there after 10, 20 years, 30 years, they're not going to be there. They'll be gone. So who is going to be a leader? Maybe one of you here will be a leader of, Gondar, or will be a leader of the Ethiopia, or will be a leader of the company. And what kind of stories and what kind of future do we want to have for Ethiopia and for Africa? So let me finish by saying this. Where we are right now, and not just Ethiopia, but the entire continent of Africa, we are in a very, how can I put it? I don't want to say dangerous place, but we're in very important age or important era, because it's either we continue living the way we want to live, or it's either we forget about our differences, we come together, we unite, and we conquer and we prosper. Because Africa, it has everything, man. It has everything. It has land, it has minerals, it has people. In Africa, like almost more than 50%, it's actually not 50, 60% is youth under 25 years old in Africa. That means it's the youngest continent in the world. Like majority of Africans are like us, guys. That means we have a potential to live long. and we have a potential to transform our continent and to transform our countries and our families. If you go to Asia, they're actually struggling. If you go to Japan, the majority of population are old people. That means that country, like up to 10 years, the population will decrease because a lot of old people will die and nobody's there. Because most of them, they're not getting married. Most of them, they're not having babies because of the hardship of the life. But Africa, we have a potential to actually change the narratives, to change what we have. And you guys, as a journalist, you have a big role to play. You have a big role to play. And I want to encourage you guys, is there anyone here has a YouTube channel? Anyone here has a YouTube channel? No? Well, you guys are journalists, and I will encourage you this, that just think beyond employment. Think beyond that. Because we want to have as many medias as we can. Like, you want to find some hidden stories. Start doing it right now. You don't have to graduate to start doing it. You can start doing it right now. Maybe you were born here, you know this place. Start finding like hidden stories. You don't need cameras, you don't need mic, you just need your phone. All this, you go and you see all these videos. All these videos are in here. I'm using my phone. And they're quality and they're good. And people are listening, people are watching them. You want to do something? You start it right now. Because honestly, this is the present. Because a lot of young people like us, we don't watch television. I don't sit and watch news like, okay, let me watch news. No, I watch YouTube, I watch Instagram, I go on Facebook, watch. Those are kind of things that a lot of young people are using. And in Africa, as I told you, like 60% of population are youth. They don't really listen to the radio or watch television. No, they use social media. So this is the future. And this is the present. And not only this, there are other many platforms, but this is what can help you, can provide you something, but as well you work. You work for your passion, but at the same time can provide something for yourself. So this is where you can start training yourself. This is where you can start creating content by yourself. Because if all of us were waiting to be employed, that's not enough job for all of us out there. That's why you go outside and you'll see a lot of university students, they graduated, they're selling coffee because there's no job. Or they're waitress and they're waiters because there's no job. But right now is the time you can start doing it. Right now. I'm really inspired, when I came to Ethiopia, because I realized that a lot of Ethiopians, they think about Africa. They think about Africa. Like whenever I walk on the street of Addis Ababa, I see like a lot of Africans, Africa, like Africa banners everywhere. Then I realized that a lot of people here, they think about Africa. And that is beautiful to watch, because that's the bigger picture, and that's what we have to look upon. Because in the age we are right now, if Ethiopia is in trouble and only Ethiopia is fighting against its own war, man, I'm telling you, it's very difficult to win. Why? Because if you're fighting with the US is not alone. US is with like G8, with G7, with G20, all of them. That's why you see like putting a lot of sanctions so that they may dismantle you. But imagine if Africa are united. You put sanction on me, I don't need to do any trade with you. I'll do trade with Kenya. I'll do trade with Tanzania. I'll do trade with South Africa. I'll do trade with Egypt. You might not trust them, but I'll do trade with anyone in Africa. It's very important. So I really hope you guys, as you go back to your studies, as you go back to your daily life, right? I hope you'll be inspired as well if you go through the channel and try to see, the work we are doing. I hope you'll be inspired. And I want to inspire you guys as well. Open your own YouTube channels. Open. Start doing something. Film yourself. Do news or do whatever that you want to do. Do it. Because someone out there, it will be maybe one person or 10 people, they'll watch and they'll listen. And maybe it will transform their thinking, their thoughts and everything. So I want to stop right here, but I want to welcome if there's any question before I, go back and sit down. Do you guys have any question? If anyone has any question, well, this is the time you can ask, and I'll be gladly to answer. Have a question?
Question, or just I would like to give you my suggestion.
Yes.
Okay. As a human being, such types of activity is expected from us. Like you, as you mentioned in your presentation, you travel in different corners of our country and disseminate or transfer different programs in order to explain what's going on in our country. So I would like to say thanks really, and I appreciate your work. And from this time, I subscribe your YouTube channel and I follow your work. I think my friends do as my activities. Really thanks to your really experience for sharing us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, come on, a round of applause for that. I got a new subscriber. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Any other question or any other contribution? Okay, you guys, you want to be journalists, you need to be able to ask questions. As a journalist, you have to be able to ask questions. You know the problem that we have with journalists these days? They don't ask questions. They are scared, they're afraid. If we cannot ask questions, we'll never get answers. So as a journalist, you need to be bold, you need to be fearless, you need to be confident. This is good, you can write that. As a journalist, guys, 3 points. There's a blackboard here. Let me write somewhere. Yeah. Am I allowed to delete this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna take forever. As a journalist, guys, the first thing, okay, remember this, the first thing, you need to be bold. Everybody say bold. 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 The second one, confident. Confident. The last one, fearless. Fearless. Fearless is like lion, like you're not scared of anything. Bold is actually pretty much the same thing. Bold and fearless is pretty much the same thing. Bold is like, man, all these 3 things are like, they're related with one another. Bold, confidence, and fearless. As a journalist, you need to be bold, confident, and fearless. The problem we have with a lot of journalists, they don't ask questions. They don't think. You want to find hidden facts? Hidden facts, you need to think. You need to do research. A lot of journalists these days, you know what they do? They copy the other news and they just produce. They just, like they see a news from maybe CNN and then they translate it into Amharic. They show it. That's not journalism. Journalism is, I need to find the truth about that story. You see the story about, oh, Tanzania, maybe 2 people died because of this and this. You don't just take that. You do research. You talk to people in there. If you have money, you even take a plane. You go all the way to Tanzania to see it. That's why journalism, it requires a lot of, what do I say? I say passion. Because sometimes you're going to need to go to the place where there's a war. You need to go there, so you're ready to die, to find the truth of the situation, to give out there. If you're not bold, if you're not confident, if you're not fearless, you're not going to go there. You're going to be scared. Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And then at the end of the day, you just copy other news. And that's what we have in Africa. I'm really pissed off when you have like leaders are talking and then they're asking questions, and then journalists, they don't ask any question. They're like, oh, we applaud you for what you've done. No. The job of journalists is not to praise what the leader is doing. The job of the journalist is to question, to find answers. Journalists, you're supposed to have 3 eyes, not 2 eyes. I'm an economist, so I can still say. But as a journalist, you need to have like 3 eyes. 1, 2, and another one is here. That when people are looking forward, you're looking backward as well. You see what is going on there. That's a journalist. That's why people, they will take magazine, they will read, and they'll be, oh. They watch news, they'll be like, oh, that's journalists. And that's what we need in Africa. That's what we need here in Ethiopia. Bold. Not bold, like bold, like bold. Fearless and confident. So you guys, if you want to be journalists, you have to be confident. And you need to ask me questions right now. You can ask me even in Amharic. You don't have to ask it in English. Because maybe English is not your comfortable language. So you feel like, English, I don't understand. No, ask in Amharic. You need to ask. I'm not leaving here until you ask questions. And I'm closing the door. Guys, you need to ask questions. Nobody's leaving. Any question? Some people, they're like, Why did you bring this guy here? I'm here, guys, to motivate you. I'm here to encourage you that the work that you're going to do is not easy. Some people, they die while they give the news. Some people, they die while they find some hidden fact. People, they hate journalists. They hate journalists because you reveal the hidden facts. I've been walking around with my brother here, and we have been, looking at Fasil Castle, the church and everything. Things that we have been talking about, they're sensitive. Italians, if they see these videos, they're not going to like it. Or Americans or British, they're not going to like it. So I'm creating enemies all over this world. Right now, I cannot even travel outside of Africa because I receive so many threats. I receive threats inside Africa and outside Africa. People, they say, we're going to kill you. I receive that all the time. I receive it in my emails. I receive that in my social media. But does that gonna let me stop doing what I'm doing? No, I'm passionate about this. I believe in the truth and I want to put the truth out there. So if you're going to kill me, go and kill me. But my message is going to be out there. Because all the time, message is more important than a messenger. I'm just a messenger, but I'm carrying a message of love, peace, and unity, and one Africa. So if you kill me, that message is just going to be there. I mean, they killed our ancestors. They killed Thomas Sankara, They killed Muhammad Gaddafi. They killed all of them back in the days. But we are still talking about one Africa today because message still lives on. So journalist is someone who takes message from whatever it is, from the hidden fact to the audience, to the people, to the Africa, to the country. That's your job. And people will hate you. Maybe some of them there, they might be killed. But the message has to be out there. It has to be out there. That's why I asked you guys why you're studying journalism. Because you need to understand as well the danger of that. But that should encourage you that, oh, I need to do something. Yeah. Got a question?
Yeah.
All right.
First, I know you for last years. And I subscribed your YouTube channel.
Thank you.
And I saw your video, different reactions, especially Teddy Afro in Mascala Dabawi concert. So I appreciate you, but I wanna ask some questions.
Yes.
How I come aboard and how I influence in YouTube channel. As your experience, and also I wanna to voice for Africa and different countries, and how I stand with Africa.
How you stand with that? That's a good question. That's a really good question. One thing I realized that a lot of us, we don't know about Africa. Let me ask you this question. How many countries do we have in Africa? Let me choose. I'll just choose anyone. And you can guess. It's fine. My brother there. How many countries do we have in Africa? 56. All right. What about you? How many countries do we have in Africa? 52. Okay. She's looking down. Yes, you. How many countries do we have in Africa? 53. Okay. My brother there. Well, let me remember your name. Jonathan, right? Yes. How many countries do you have in Africa? 56. Okay. That. How many countries do you have in Africa? No. We have, yes. 56. Nobody got it right. We have 54 countries in Africa. But why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because if you want to stand for Africa, you have to get to know Africa. For me, I'm standing for Ethiopia for 2 years. You've been following me for 2 years, so you see. For 2 years, I've been criticized with my own people. That you're not even Ethiopian. No, with my own people, with Ethiopians as well. You're not even Ethiopian. Who do you think you are talking about Ethiopia? A lot of noises in the comments. You can see in the comments. A lot of hate from everywhere. But the reason why I'm standing for Ethiopia and other African countries is because I am getting to know these countries. If you want to stand for Tanzania, you have to get to know Tanzania. If you want to stand for Africa, you have to get to know Africa. And Africa is really huge. 54 different countries. But also I say 55 because that one is diaspora. We have other Africans outside of Africa, so we include them. We say 55 countries, like 54 in the continent and one country all over the world, right? That's what I say. And I say this, Africa is one big family with 55 different children. That's Africa. It's like you have one family and then you have kids, like 55 different kids. 54, they're here in Africa, one is outside, all over the world. That is Africa. We are family. We are all of us family. How can you stand for one Africa? Just know that Africa is a family. And in a family, if you have like 3 kids or 4 kids, are they all kids have the same behaviors? No. Some kids, they talk a lot like me. Some kids, they're quiet. Some kids, they're smart. Some kids, they don't really have the, the class intelligence, you know what I'm saying? Some kids, they work fast. Some kids, they work slow. So 54 countries in Africa, or 55 countries and outside, we all have different culture, we all have different languages, we all have different customs, we all have different religions, we all have different tribes, we all have different things, personalities. But that's the beauty of Africa. Because we have so many people with different culture and everything, but we are one family. So when I look at Ethiopia, I see my another family. When I look at Somalia, that's my another family right there. When I look at South Africa, that's my another family. Different kids. So if you think like that, it's over. It's just like Ethiopia. So let's come to Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one big family with 86 different children. Those 86 are different ethnic groups there in Ethiopia. So when you look at Ethiopia, you look in these 86 different ethnic groups, they have different behaviors, they have different characters, they have different whatever languages, they have different, but it's one family. It doesn't change the fact that you guys are all Ethiopians. Whether one is aggressive, another one is this, another one, no, but you're all Ethiopian, it's one family. So how can you stand for Africa? It's knowing that this is one family. And I want to applaud you guys because you welcomed me here today. I'm not, you don't know me. Most of you have seen me for the first time, but you welcome me here. This proves that we are one family. Because I came to your house and you gave me a stage to talk. You don't even know me because we're a family. And that's what I will do when you come to Tanzania or to anywhere. So let's get to know Africa, guys. Get to know Africa because you have your sibling in Egypt. You have your sibling, even if you hate Egypt, but he's your sibling. As long as in that African map there, it's Africa. You have your sibling in South Africa and you don't even know about South Africa or Ghana or Togo, whatever countries out there, Eritrea, Djibouti, all these countries, Sudan. We are one family. One family. We have different stuff, but it doesn't change the fact that we are one family. And it's a time to, okay, let me tell you this hard truth. The difficult truth is this. If Ethiopia was Ethiopia alone without any other countries in Africa, or if Tanzania was Tanzania alone without any other countries in Africa, it cannot stand. We depend on each other. We need one another. There's no one in this life so that I can do everything on my own. No, you cannot do everything on your own. We need each other. Ethiopia needs other African countries. Other African countries need Ethiopia. And it's sad because even some of our leaders, they don't know that. They don't talk about unity. They don't stand for unity. But there's no way to survive in this world if you're alone. Because if you're alone, man, Westerners, they're going to take advantage of you. Chinese, they will take advantage of you. Turkey, they will take advantage of you. Everybody. But if we are together, we will protect each other. Ethiopia, you have the greatest dam in Africa. You're going to provide electricity to Ethiopia and other countries in Africa. Congo, they have minerals everywhere. They'll provide that to other countries in Africa. Libya, some countries, Nigeria, they have oil. They'll provide it to Africa. Tanzania, tourism is the best. You guys will come there to do tourism. We provide for each other. So Africa, when we come together, man, we are unstoppable. And they know. That's why they don't want us to come together. That's why they turn us against each other. The same thing in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, if you guys come together, oh, there is no powerful nation like Ethiopia. You guys, you won in the Battle of Adwa. You guys, you won against Egyptian a couple times back in the days. Because you were united. You were one. Unstoppable people. Unstoppable. Oh, that's the first clap of the day. You guys love Ethiopia so much. You guys are unstoppable. That's what I'm saying. But your strength comes when you are united. If today we have another Adwa, you guys are not going to win. Because you're too divided. It's the truth. The No More movement was succeeded because you guys came together. Everybody. They were like, no, we have to defend our country against Americans. Oh, no more, no more, no more, no more. And look at now where you are. Why can we not come together, not against Westerners, not against Asia, no, but against ourselves? Because that no more is not just for them, it's inside here. There are so many diseases, there's so many poison. I always talk about ethnicity. That's a huge poison we have in most of countries in Africa, especially here in Ethiopia. Let's come together. See me as a human being. See me as an African. I see you, my brother, as a human being, as another African. I love you, man. I don't know you, but you're an African. I love you. I can invite you to my home. I can give you my bed. That's what Gondar people do, right? He invited me to his house. He said, come to my house. You know, he doesn't even know me. He said, come. Did I answer your question? Thank you, thank you. That's a good clap right there. Any other question? Oh, yeah.
First, I want to say it's wonderful to have you here today.
Appreciate
and you're welcome to the Ethiopia as well as Gondar, as well as University of Gondar.
Thank you so much.
And that was absolutely generous presentation or sharing of experience to this young generation.
Appreciate it.
And we thanks for that one. And you shared us the spirit of Africanism, and I really impressed by that one. And I want you to keep it continuous.
Yes.
And I think you will gonna engage us in the developing the spirit of Africanism.
Yes.
Because you guys, the Westerns, are coming by another way of colonization this time in the 21st century. They come up with their medias, they inject us where they want their agendas. So I think we all Africans have a great obligation or responsibility to fight against them.
Yeah.
So I really, really appreciate you to do that. So we all have a responsibility to do what you do.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you, and I have a great respect for you.
Appreciate it.
And as well as I expect you to be here another time.
Of course.
So I, on behalf of these young generations, I thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Come on, man. Give me some. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And he reminded me one thing that I would say. He said something very important. They have their own way to plug in their agendas through media, but not only that, through Netflix, through movies that you go to watch on the theaters. For example, I'll give you an example. For example, the idea or the agenda, the Western agenda of homosexuality. You see it everywhere. I have my friends who are like that. Like I have my friends who, because I live there, so I have my friends who are like that, right? I don't judge them, I don't condemn them. But one thing that Western, they love doing is to implement, to force their agendas to everyone else. So right now, if you watch movies, all movies, you'll find a couple that is, one sex. So even the kids, you find the kids like those teenagers movie, they like each other. They're the same sex. These are agendas that came from the Western, and they want everybody to implement that. They want everybody to believe in that. So when you watch there, you see it, you be like, what is this? You skip. The next movie you watch, you see the same thing. The another movie you watch, and then you get used to it. And then you open your heart. Okay. And then you lose your identity, or you lose your values, because us as Africans, we have our own values, we have our own norms, we have our own beliefs that we stand for. So instead of changing that to their own agenda, we have to stick with our own, because this is what made us Africans. So these agendas, they're everywhere. And that's why we need as many YouTubes as we can. And if you don't want to do YouTube, then support some of the YouTubes that are in there. And we need to implement and to show our own agendas, like all the time, through our medias. And you guys as a journalist, you have your social media. Most of you here, you have like Telegram, you have like tweet accounts, Instagram. That's where we can, it's their own media, but we can use for our advantage, like the way I'm using. YouTube is not owned by Africa, no, it's owned by them. And sometimes they limit me. When I share some content, sometimes they give me strikes so that it may not be shown there. But I don't care, I'm like, okay, at the same time we are creating our own social platform. Actually, us, Swahili Nation and One Africa, we are creating our own platform called Triangle. This is the platform that it's made by Africans, and we will control it. And right now we're working on the website as well, the One Africa website, where everything will be there. So even our videos, everything we do on our website later on in the future. Because we want to show our own narratives, we want to share our own stories, and we want to ignore their negative agendas. Because our stuff, our culture and everything, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Our clothes, everything, it's beautiful. Our languages, our people are beautiful. I lived outside, so I know. I came to Africa, I became really happy, man. 9 years, I'll tell you the truth. I had a lot of struggles. I'm back home right now, I am happy. Because I'm Africa. I'm in Ethiopia right now, I am happy. I was supposed to leave like 1 month ago, but I extend my time. Because I'm in Africa, I'm home, man. This is home. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
One of the students from Theatrical Art is going to ask you a question.
Yes.
So if the students do not mind, it's better to give you the chance, yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you. As you can talk, you are traveled to many Asian countries.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can think about the challenges of young people in this world?
The challenge of young people in this
Yes,
world?
in this world. What you can think?
Well, the challenge of young people. You know, I don't know, maybe I think different because for me, I think, so a lot of young people, some people, they leave outside of Africa because they think there's no opportunities. But for me, everywhere I travel, like even here in Ethiopia, I see opportunities everywhere. So I think the challenges of young people is like limiting ourselves, thinking that we cannot do it. The only challenge young people we're facing is us thinking about ourselves. Like we don't think that we can do it. We don't think that we can change. We don't think that we can change this society. For example, there are people who don't believe in One Africa because they believe that no, One Africa will never happen. They just believe, so they limit themselves. I will quote one thing. Obama once said, this quote, I love his quote, what he said. He said, if you reach your goals, that means you didn't set them high enough. You understand that? So the challenge of young people, we don't set our goals high enough. We think here. So I only think about Gondar. That I'm Gondar, I was born here, I will die here. Oh, I'm Ethiopian, I will live here, I will die here. No, we have to think big. Because when you think big, like if you think big, you'll start seeing opportunities, you'll start seeing big things. If you think small, you'll see small things. If you think big, you'll see, like it's divine and also psychological. If I think big, I'll start seeing big. Like you will see it. So I came to Tanzania and a lot of people, they're like, you know, I don't want to go back home because there's no opportunity, there's no jobs. I'm like, I don't want to be employed. I want to employ Tanzanians. I think big, right? So because I want to employ, it came with this idea like I had in my mind for 9 years. but I just started 2 years ago. And now when I go back home, I'll be able to employ some people to take care of the media, of social media, some people to be like cameramen. I'll be able to employ them. Then I will have people, young people, who they will have an opportunity to work. The only limit you have as a young people is yourself. The only enemy we have as Africans are not whites, it's Africans, it's ourselves. That's the challenge I've seen everywhere. If you think you cannot do it, you will never do it. If you think you can do it, you will do it. Because the moment you think about it, you'll start figuring out, okay, how can I do it? How can I do it? You start thinking about that. But a lot of young people these days, they give up. They give up. They don't push hard enough because the life gets tough, and for ladies, they just end up, oh, I would just rather have babies. Okay, maybe I was just born to have babies. Then, poof, babies. But there's things you can do before that. The things you can, let's not limit ourselves. Don't limit yourself, man. Your mind, do you know, you use 5% of your brain. Do you know that? Like us as human beings, we only use 5% of our brain. Do you know that? Do you guys know that? Like you use 5% of your brain. That's human being we use. Those genius people, some of them they use like 5.5 or 6. That means the human brain, it's more smarter than this machine. These are machines, but your brain is more smarter. Imagine you're using 5% and people design plan, they design car, they design buildings, just 5%. Imagine if you use like 10%. Oh my goodness, like this world, it will be different. What I'm saying is don't settle. Like don't settle, don't be satisfied with where you are. Don't be satisfied with what you're doing right now. Don't be like, oh, I'm okay. No, it's not okay. You can do better than that. You take exam, you get 50%. You're like, oh, this is better. I got 50. No, it's not okay. You can get 100. You can. If you think about that, you will study hard. You work hard. You make sure that you push yourself to the limit to achieve your goal. So I want to challenge you guys. I'll tell you this. So my dream in 2009, you know what was my dream? My dream was to become a president of Tanzania when I was 16. I didn't finish. That when I was 16, I said I want to become president of Tanzania. But do you know my dream right now? I'm like, no, Tanzania is very small. I want Africa. So I'm not dreaming to be a leader of Africa or whatever, but what I'm doing right now, I'm doing for Africa. So I don't have to be a president to do what I do. I don't have to be like a leader of Africa to do what I do. No, I just need to be an African who love Africa to do what I do. So what I'm doing right now, I do what African Union honestly is not doing sometimes. We are writing letters. We wrote letters to Mali. Us as One Africa, we wrote a letter to the president of France for what he did in Burkina Faso. Like French troop, they killed our people in Burkina Faso. They killed them like a couple months ago. We wrote a letter to him, to President of France. If you go on my Twitter, if you go to Twitter, you write Mika Chavala, you see that letter is up there. We wrote a letter special to him that we need you to get out your troops out of Africa. We demanded as people. And a couple days later, he removed troops out of Mali. Right now in the Ukraine, our brothers and sisters, Africans, they were stuck in there. They were not leaving. They were being harassed by the soldiers of Ukraine. You know what we did? We wrote a letter to the international organization to help our people to leave, to take them out. We wrote a letter today. 2 days later, they allow them to leave. I'm not an African leader. I'm just an African who loves Africa, who wants the best for Africa. And I'm writing a letter to them. It's scary, but we have to tell them to do it. And now we are writing a letter to all the Italians, British, German, all these colonial powers. We are writing a letter to them to return our heritage that they stole. Italians, they stole a lot of heritage here out of Ethiopia, out of Tanzania, so many, all over the continent. Now we are doing research. Right now, as I'm saying, like we have the people who are doing research to find how many things have been stolen, and we're writing a special letter to them to return our stuff. So the only way, the only limitation, the only restriction, the only challenge is yourself. If you think this small, you'll be like that. If I was still thinking about President of Tanzania, I would not be here today. Yeah. I'll be in Tanzania, maybe here and there, but I'm like, no, I want the whole world to know what is Africa and who is African. I want that. So please, guys, please, let's think big. We have this opportunity to have education, to go to school like this. There's a lot of people in countryside that don't get a chance to come to school. Gondar University is beautiful university. I was telling my brother here that, man, I'm walking around the school. It's beautiful. This university, I had no idea. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow. It looks like Korea. This is beautiful. We have this opportunity. Let's use it. Let's think big. Don't just think about having kids. Don't just think about here. No, think about there. That's it. Yeah.